What community has the least access to wealth? It's black people.
And whose fault is that? Black people.
If we're constantly bro, you just admitted.
This is why nobody takes black people serious, man. Like, this is crazy. Like,
I'm gonna let him go next because you have so much circular logic.
Over policing.
This was a fantastic opportunity to make myself dumber.
No, dude, this is literally why everyone laughs at blacks.
Now, and I want to know, why do y'all keep trying Myron up, man? He comes to these debates prepared, and I mean fully prepared to take y'all down, take y'all out. What are you thinking? I enjoy Myron, man, because he is, I say, a necessary disruption in the matrix. You understand what I'm saying? You got to understand his points. Now, he might come off as bad. He might say the craziest thing. Not saying everything he say you're going to agree with, but I haven't even seen this yet, and I guarantee you he about to wash you. I guarantee you. Let's get into it.
Let's run that back about the black community. What did you say about stereotypes of black community? Just so I'm clear.
The typical stereotypes. Criminals selling drugs, rap music, FUBU.
Who's the
fried chicken, watermelon?
That's funny.
Well, you said the stereotypes.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny.
Point taken. You see? But let's keep going.
All right, so you want to talk about drug dealing. I think we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. Who flooded black neighborhoods with drugs? They don't have access to the port. Black people aren't on the ports. Black people are the ones bringing it in from Nicaragua or wherever the fuck. How did those drugs get in these communities?
Yeah, they were smuggled in.
By who? Hispanics
typically smuggle the drugs in.
So
right, and then blacks typically do the domestic distribution.
So we're talking about you're just saying that the CIA Contra affair, all that stuff that happened, putting crack in black neighborhoods, that was just black people, crazy.
Well, you have a choice. Am I gonna sell crack or am I not gonna sell crack? If you decide to not sell the crack, you won't go to jail. If you decide to sell the crack, you'll go to jail.
So
but the point is that there's a choice to be made, and if you make the wrong choice, then.
So when you deny a whole community.
Now, I do want to correct Myron just right there because we seen in that movie with Denzel Washington, we seen how, they was using the CIA and some, American soldier force to carry and smuggle things over because they would never get their bags checked. So, yeah, it might be, but we've also seen where people in the community have had their, things given to them, like privileges to sell. Like I think it was Rick Ross. They was giving him drugs to sell across his hood and letting him do it. Then locking up other people, taking the drugs and putting them right back on the street. So that is something to think about.
Access to wealth through, redlining, when you let them access to wealth, about, not giving them loans or
what's holding black people back from success now?
So history doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the present. So history doesn't affect the present. Is that what is that your framing?
Not really. Nothing's holding you back.
I'm one brother.
Okay.
I'm one brother.
Well, any black person that's here, nothing's holding any of you guys back. You guys are here, right?
So as far as like housing,
right?
So you're saying that there are still no racist housing practices, even though we have a ton of statistics to say there is. You're saying that there are no racist policing practices, even though we know
I never said that.
Oh, so okay, you never said that.
Racism exists, but it does not exist to the point where it keeps you from success. So there's always going to be racist people wherever you look. There's a lot of black people that are racist, right? I would argue blacks tend to be more racist than whites sometimes. But regardless, racism is no longer a viable excuse as to why you're not successful. It's just not. It's 2025.
And I'm going to have to agree with him. Stop the video there for a second because I kind of agree with that sentiment because, I refuse to use my failure to be a failure and to use my excuse as white people. I'm going to point my finger and say, white people are the reason I'm not successful. I refuse to believe that when people are standing in front of a camera on TikTok like, yeah, what should I do next? Like Pinky Donut. Listen, it's ways to make money. You got to get creative. You got all the tools necessary there. You can Google and know anything. You can go to trade. Nobody wants to do trades right now. So what's stopping people from going and trying to become plumbers and electricians? I know there's welding. There's tons of trades, right? Construction and all that. There's tons of things to do. But nope. The people that are complaining, the thing that comes with the people complaining is sometimes they don't have that hustler spirit. I have never met a hustler who's like, the reason I'm broke is because of I can't do it because of that. No, When I look at them and see how they doing it, either A, they got a bad hand and they worked the wrong job and thought they was gonna get a promotion, so they stayed too long and they end up getting played or something. But somebody that's a real hustler is always like, all right, I'm gonna work this job, but I'm also always gonna be looking for something better. And I'm never gonna let nothing stop me to say I'm broke, because I'm gonna get that money. And you know, if you watching this and you black, that's probably gonna be you. Or else you wouldn't even be here. Like, come on, man, you're not gonna sit here and tell me any real hustler's gonna get the money regardless. Some way, somehow. Stop it.
I would argue, as a black person, if you're not successful in 2025, you're a fucking retard, and I'll tell you why. You have far more opportunities and benefits as a colored person than as a Caucasian. We have affirmative action, DEI. We have all these programs in place to allow minorities to basically get a leg up on the things that you're talking about before. I agree that there were some racist atrocities before. However, we've corrected it to a point where everyone has an opportunity. I would say we've almost overcorrected.
You think we've overcorrected?
Almost, okay. Yes.
Okay, you think we've overcorrected.
This man can't even look straight.
All these programs, all these things that exist, who did DEI programs mostly benefit?
They benefit blacks and women and minorities.
White women were the number one. Black people at the bottom. Yeah. We are at the lower part of that table. It was white women. So don't come here and say that.
Now I want to stop him and say, okay, I've heard that argument too, that, hey, white women benefited the most. Well, why did black people have the most outrage? Why was we that? I'm just saying, if that's the case, are we developing this victim mentality by saying, hey, DEI, because you'll listen to people argue and debate, and they'll use that DEI and affirmative, they'll use all that when it benefits them, but when it's times like this that they gotta, stand on business, now they're like, oh, but who did that benefit? It didn't even benefit us. So what do you care about it? Like I mean, I get it. You're saying it benefited white women, but now that they're trying to take it away, shouldn't it affect white women the same way and give you a more shot at an opportunity? Like that's why I'm confused at. If it was for white people, white women who benefited the most, they take it away. Shouldn't they, feel most of the pain? Shouldn't they take the biggest hit? That's all I'm asking.
DEI has put black people.
I am not. Well, it's giving you guys opportunities, and obviously, yeah, white women are almost.
What opportunities?
White women spearhead every liberal movement, which again, on the white guys, you guys need to take better. You guys need to, put these women back in the kitchen, because the reality is that they fucking undermine.
Listen, this is coming from a guy who is not married. I'm married 5 years. Don't listen to this.
What does have to?
Bro, your opinions on, I'm just saying your opinions on women come from an uninformed place.
Really?
Yes.
How many women have you had sex with?
A lot.
Okay. Now, how long have you been married
for?
That's
provable, and I got video evidence.
Yeah, okay. Well, don't incriminate yourself. Look, you can sit here and say, you're not married, so therefore you can't talk on this. But the reality is that men are the ones that give relationships to women, not the other way around. So if I wanted to get married, I could easily get married.
Women can say no, right?
Well, women want relationships. Men gatekeep relationships.
Men need relationships.
No, women need relationships, actually.
Oh, okay. What's the statistics on single men, loneliness, depression? And what happens with these single men once they get into relationships? And what happens to women once they get in relationships or get married, statistically?
All right, so do you want to transition from race into marriage now, or did you want to finish
I'm sorry, you're the one who's talked about women. You're the one who's starting the conversation.
No, you brought up the whole I'm married thing, and you showed your ring.
Listen, if you can't handle the debate, brother, if you can't handle, I got you. But what I'm saying
if you want to segue to that, we can. But
man, we can segue to that. I want to talk about race and the fact that historically we've been kept away from our communities.
And my counter to that is simply, historically does not mean now. There's nothing holding you back now.
And my counter argument to that is, then that's like saying that what happened a few minutes ago doesn't affect our present. It does. That's the way history works. That's the way time works. We have laws. We have legislation. The reason we have a country is because of shit that happened a long time ago. True or false? The reason that we have the Constitution and the laws that still govern us today are because of legislation and things that happened. But that's the way time works.
Of course.
It's past,
what I'm saying is,
and future.
Though the things happened in the past.
And I can kind of see what he's saying. I definitely give him some, there is some truth to that, because, seeing as how if we would have wasn't redlined and wasn't, shut out of some real estate. They wasn't building interstates through the black parts. You know what I'm saying? And we would have had this real estate, this land that's appreciated so much over time. We would have been able to distribute some, wealth. And that didn't happen all over the way. We know about Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's a lot of things that factor into, why black people as a majority are, more poverty. They're in poverty a little bit more, but I give him some points there. So, Myron Kane, I don't think he should say he's wrong completely about that.
nothing is stopping you from working in the present to change your future.
But you're like saying, like, say there's two people running a race. You just had all these obstacles in front of one, well, no obstacles in front of the other, and now you're saying, well, we're not going to have halfway through the race, no more obstacles.
You know, bro, let me just be honest. This is why nobody respects blacks, bro. Like, this mantra right here.
Why does no one respect you?
Let me explain this. Why is that Nigerians or people from Africa or they come from the Caribbean, they come here and they make something to themselves as first-generation immigrants? I'll tell you why. Because they don't have this mindset of redlining, systemic racism, reparations. They come here, even though they're black, and everyone else can identify them as not being a foundationally black American. They have the same skin color. They look black. They might not necessarily be a foundationally black American, but how is it that they're able to figure it out and come here and become successful? But people that have been here for 7 generations don't even have $7 in their fucking bank account. The problem is that blacks make too many goddamn excuses for why they're failures.
Oh, my God.
And this is the issue. Too many excuses. Oh, my God. Too many fucking complaints. Too much crying. It's like
they're not. I mean, this is stuff that actually happened when we did build economic systems, when we did build communities, where we had money. When we did build those things, they were what? Destroyed systematically, either by racist organizations or by legislation. That's something that actually happened. So what happens when you give a bunch of people who are one race, right, access to housing, access to loans, and you don't do that to another people? What do you think the generations after that would have happened?
If that racism is so bad, why is it that black people actually did better during the Jim Crow era? They had their own businesses. They were making more money. I'll tell you why, because the nuclear family. So when black people were the most oppressed and had the least rights and the least civil liberties, they actually did better than they do now. So, again, nothing can keep you back.
You're talking about
nothing can keep you back from success besides yourself.
So you're talking about Reconstruction, right? What happened to all those successful businesses and things that were around during Jim Crow? They were destroyed, bro. They were destroyed.
And who destroyed it?
Our government or white racists, but that happened. You can't even lie. That's history, brother. That's history.
Again, choice and accountability.
The 90s were just
choice
a couple. That was a little bit ago. We're still living in the body. Okay, so what you're saying?
Because
so the people in Tulsa,
people in
Tulsa, Oklahoma, they chose for the Klan to come around. They chose for that. Is that what the fuck? You're talking about choice and responsibility, brother.
And I'm saying,
what responsibilities does the government have?
And to top it off real quick on choice and responsibility, they basically, that's why they call it a trap in the hood. We trap, because you trapping yourself. When they bring drugs to the hood and you see how fast you can make money by doing this, and most of the time you're doing it to your own community. Right there, you're not only ruining families, but you taking future generations, people out the bloodline is in jail right now. They got so many years for selling drugs, selling crack, the war on crime, all these things. And then let them tell it, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. So I get what he's saying with choices and accountability. You got to be accountability. All these people that were selling the drugs, trying to make a quick buck, it's like, wow, I can make this money this fast. Nobody's like, nah, I'm about to go. I'm about to go be a plumber. I'm finna make this plumber money. It's slow, it's steady. I'm going to go do that instead. Seeing as how this dude riding around in BMWs, paying for all this, he getting all the girls and all that. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be strong enough to do that. And in order to do something like that, you need Trey's dad from Boys in the Hood. You feel what I'm saying? Got you reading on top of your head, showing you a good example, making sure you're not out there doing nothing crazy. And this is a time a lot of us got trapped in these moments. And in these times, even though they may not be responsible for bringing the drugs in, you could have a pound of fentanyl right here on this couch and be like, bro, all you gotta do is take it up to the north side, bro, and he gonna have $10,000 for you, brother. Get it out my house. How dare you? Don't even ask me to do nothing like that. You ain't even my friend if you ask me to do something like that, to crash out, do something for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna get money. Bro, don't ask me to do no wild shit like that. Something that can land me in jail and take me away from my family. That's how much I don't play about that. I don't play about my family and my freedom. No, I don't play about that. I don't play about God. I don't play about none of that stuff. So anybody who's asking you to do any of these things and offering you money, monetary incentives to do anything like that, you better know it's a trap. And you better be like, hell no. Look, hey.
Lock them up.
Oh, man.
Lock them up.
You done. You cooked. You fried.
What I'm saying is, in the 60s, when they were actually successful, right, they were oppressed to the highest degree and they were still successful. So there's no excuse with racism being reeled back to not be successful. That's what I'm saying. All these other things happened. Cool. Nobody cares. People need to pick themselves up from the bootstraps.
Maybe you need to start caring. Maybe people should start caring. Maybe we should have those conversations, because if we don't take care of what happened and how people were left, like, taken away from their access to wealth, right? If we don't deal with those things, how the fuck are we going to move forward?
Again, you can move forward because blacks have more opportunities than their white counterparts who are oppressing them for so long.
Who gets the majority of scholarships?
Well, here's the thing. There are scholarships that are only available to black people that are not available to whites.
Who gets the majority of scholarships?
Now, could you imagine if there was a scholarship that was only available to whites?
Now, that is an interesting question, because if you looking at football, who gets the most scholarships? I would say maybe black people get more of those scholarships. If you're looking at basketball, I'm going to say black people probably get more of those scholarships. You know, even the white schools recruiting the best, that's when race don't matter. They want the best of the best. You see what I'm saying? There is no DEI and all that stuff really when it comes to now, it is when it comes to some scholarships, but when it comes to sports and scholarships, listen, we want the best of the best, and we don't really care about color and none of that. Nah. And if they say most, you know, like in those scholarships, you know, we might be winning there, you know, us black. We might be winning in that one, but not all the time. But overall, yes, if you're more educated and you know how to get these grants and write these scholarships and understand grammar and English and be able to type these reports and do all that, like, yo, you're going to get it. But anybody can do it. I've seen news stories all the time where they say the black kid, he's graduating a month early, got a scholarship, over $500,000 worth of scholarship to go whatever university he want to go to. Not, I see this a lot, you know, more often than less. So
that's not available to blacks. See where I'm going with this?
But why do you think
blacks
they
have opportunities that whites don't have, and they've been getting this overcorrection for a while?
But right, but we're still saying who gets the majority of loans, who gets overpoliced, who gets the majority of access to wealth, who gets the majority of scholarships? It's white folk, brother.
Well, they're the majority of people. They're the majority race, so of course they're.
That's a good point. Damn, that's a good point. If there was an equal amount of race divided, and then you seen a distribution of scholarships, then that would make sense. But if there's more of them, of course they might get more scholarships. Like, yeah,
going to be the majority in a lot of these regards that you're
so. But
about.
If they're the majority race, how come black people, right? But you want to talk about black people in regards to crime, but you don't want to talk about how that crime got into those neighborhoods or how those things, what responsibility does white America or America?
He should have just said, okay, you got me there, but he can't admit Myron's right about anything. And that is the problem that we are having right now.
Government have as a whole for what you keep talking about responsibility. What responsibility does the government have?
Here's the problem. Blacks want to blame the government, not blame themselves. Oh, it's the government's fault. No, it's your fault for selling the drugs.
So the government has no responsibility. They have no fault, nothing bad. They didn't do anything bad. They're good. It's all gravy.
Think of it like this. I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but think of it like this. The devil. Like the devil is out here tempting you. But if you believe in God, it's up to you to have your free will and use your discernment to make the right choices, no matter what. If the devil throws some ass in your face, you got to, hey, watch out. I ain't with that. Throw drugs, hey, nah, I ain't with that. Hey, go steal it. Hey, nah, I ain't with that. You know what I mean? Whatever the devil is tempting you with, you got to be able on your own to recognize that and be able to avoid, you know, making the wrong choices that put you in a worse position. So the way I see it, they doing what they supposed to do. They supposed to test and see, hey, if somebody could steal, that was bait car. If somebody could steal something, would they steal something? Then they lock them up for doing it. Yo, because if you would do it, if you won't do it now, but you would do it, you'll just do it later. So
government's always going to do dumb shit.
So we can't hold the government accountable.
Here's the thing. You can't depend on the government to save you. Like, just don't commit crimes.
You're wild. So the government, what utility does the government have?
You can't depend on the government to save you.
But okay, cool. But why are they destroying us?
They're not destroying you.
So
right now, how is the government holding you back from success right now?
I can't believe I got to do this again.
How is the government holding you back from success right now?
I
don't care about the 80s with the crack.
No, okay, we'll talk about right now. What race of people are the highest exonerated? What race of people are the highest of wrongful convictions? What race of people are statistically over-policed? Go on.
Well,
I know what Myron about to say. Black folks commit most of the crimes, so if we wouldn't commit no crime, we wouldn't need to be over-policed. You see what I'm saying? If we didn't have the drugs and we had a better mindset and we didn't have a, you know, like, oh, we trap victim, like, yo, you got to admit, if there's a lot of black people around, you probably need a little more cops than it would be if it was just a whole bunch of white folks. Right? You got to admit that. If you in Atlanta, you at a festival, and it's 1,000, come on, man, versus 1,000 white, you'd be like, oh, I'm just saying.
Who commits a disproportionate amount of violent crime in America?
Told you.
So yeah.
Wait, I have a question. If majority of wrongful convictions are black people, and the majority of wrongful arrests, which is provable statistically, are black people, then could you assert from these statistics and look at the one where you're saying that, they're committing more violent crime, right? When
sure.
You're saying that one, then what does that tell you? Their communities are over-policed.
This is a minority of cases, but the majority is they're fucking guilty.
The majority of black people are not.
No. I said the majority of these people that get arrested. The majority of people that get arrested are guilty.
A white criminal offended and a black criminal offended who have the same criminal record go before a judge. Do black people disproportionately?
This nigga Myron can't believe what he heard.
Because they commit a disproportionate amount of crime.
No.
It's violent crime and it's drug trafficking.
No. You're not.
Violent crime and drug trafficking.
So you're saying that like, oh, well, I see a black guy, a white guy, they did the same crime, but because your community historically. Wow, you want to bring that up historically?
Well, that could be access to lawyers. That's going to be a big one.
And so, what happens when? What community has the least access to wealth? It's black people.
And whose fault is that? Black people.
If we're constantly, bro, you just admitted.
This is why nobody fucking takes black people serious, man. Like, this is crazy. Like,
I'm gonna let him go next because you have so much circular logic.
Over policing.
This was a fantastic opportunity to make myself dumber. Thank you.
Dude, this is literally why everyone laughs at fucking blacks. Like, I don't know if you saw a bunch of niggas in the back are laughing at you. Like, all you got is excuses and complaints as to why you're a fucking failure. Like, bruh, like this shit is crazy. You know? Like, it's just absolutely nuts. It's like, how is it that people come here from Africa, don't speak the language, and figure it out and become successful? Meanwhile, we got these guys coming around, more racism. It's fucking clown world, bro. It's clown world.
Okay, so to wrap this video up, man, first and foremost, thank y'all for watching. Please like, subscribe, but I really want to know what y'all think about this in the comments, and the comments that I made. You know, I don't think I think I stood right, what's reasonable and what makes sense. And, that's just from what I see. I'm 33 and the places I've been and the things I've seen, I'm feeling like, I'll be damned if I fail because the government or white people, that's not going to be my excuse. I'm going to outwork if I got to work twice as hard, what Clip say, so be it. So be it. Straight up. So be it. Hey, let me get to work then. Let me wake up earlier. Let me make sure I ain't got no distractions. Let me make sure I ain't smoking on nothing. Let me make sure I ain't waking up hungover. Make sure I'm in that gym and staying healthy. Make sure I'm not recklessly spending my money everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Where I'm in debt. I got credit card debt. I got all this stuff going. Let me make sure I got my spending habits under control. My discipline turned all the way up, level 99. And my understanding, and I gotta read more. That means I gotta listen more. I gotta network more. Okay, challenge accepted. I'm not going to be a brokey in 2025. I'm just not going to do it, and I'm not going to allow myself to give reason to such as white people or the government or anybody else or this or that. Like, no. I don't care. I came down to Atlanta from West Virginia with like $750 in my pocket, and I had to figure it out or I had to go home. And I'm still here 10 years later, flourishing. You know what I'm saying? So no, if I had to start all over, I'd do it again. If I had to move to another city right now with nothing, guaranteed you give me some time, I'm going to out hustle somebody. I'm hungry like that. That's what I do. I move like that. I'm a real hustler. I think like that. I'm going to figure it out. I promise you. But yeah. My name is Ronnie Beatty, a.k.a. Phoenix, and when I do these reactions, I call it Ruffle Feathers TV. That's what the channel was formerly known as. We're going through a little makeover, and I hope I keep it this way. But, hey, thank y'all for watching. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll see you next time.